Women and Power, a conversation with Professor Dr. Barbara von Meybohm at thewisdomfactory.net, which has been founded by Heidi Hörnlein and Mark Davenport. This is part 4 of the whole conversation. If you want to watch it on video, please go to http://bit.ly/Barbara Meybohm 1.
I remember that once I led an open space conference on the relationship between men and women in the police force. And we had the whole hierarchy from the ministry down to the police forces in the streets. And men and women sat together and talked together, and it was a delightful atmosphere, and they really met for the first time. They were happy, and then we had the collection, the harvesting in the end, and a couple of really, really good ideas came up. And who did block them in the very end? The highest ranking women in the system.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely not clear that a woman supports feminine principles. Absolutely
Exactly.
not.
Yeah.
But I would say, now gender. Women have a closer relationship to this genuine knowledge of the feminine. I mentioned in the beginning that I would like to regard wisdom as an expression of the feminine too. Can I elaborate on this a little bit?
Sure. Yeah.
In the Bible, there's a very interesting text. That's the Solomon talking about Sophia. And Sophia is the wisdom. She's female. And he talks to the rulers, to the men leading societies, regions, congregations, etc. And if you read this text, then you realize that Sophia is this principle of connectedness, caring, and very, very important, honoring the divine.
Yeah.
It's honoring nature, being aware that we are a part of the whole, that we are not the ruler, but that we are somehow doing it im Auftrag.
In commission, and because somebody has given us the task.
Yeah. Okay. As stewards.
As stewards. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. As stewards. If we rule, we do it as stewards in order to serve life. And there's an interesting thing which I found, that it's said in a myth way, as a mythology, mythological way, that women know the direction where to go, and men know how to get there.
It seems to be the case. Yeah.
So if women don't honor their power to know the direction where to go, they can't bring in the discussion, the dialogue, the direction where to go.
Yeah. And I was thinking what we said just now, women, when they are not following the feminine principles, they can be worse than men.
than a man who is open for the feminine principle. Yeah. And so forth, we have to find good innovative corporations with men who are open to balance the forces and the principles with women who go forward. It's not to fight for women.
No, that's. I just remember. I think Ken Wilber once that when Dalai Lama said the women will save the world, he said, yeah, some women, yes, but when they have a certain development, when they have reached what we talked before, when they have overcome this victimized state, and when they have accepted their femininity and their feminine qualities, those have the chance. The others, no, they are often worse than men.
They are not helpful. And well, I myself, if I look back to my history, I myself, of course, I tried in the beginning to become male.
Yeah, me too. Oh, how much I was envious of men, and I thought only they get everything, and I blah 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 blah. It took a long time.
Yeah. So the question is how we get into this beautiful state of honoring our own energy, our own power, and expressing it to the benefit of the whole.
Exactly. Do you have a sort of a suggestion how women who are watching this and feel they would like to really know what their real power is and not this power? How can they do it? Or maybe you tell us a little bit how you discovered it and how you found that.
How did that develop in your life, moving from one sphere to the other?
Well, I had a very strong teacher, and the teacher was my facialis paralysis. The facialis paralysis told me that something got out of balance. And so I had to wonder, where did this come from? And it's my female side. So this is a very strong teacher. Because, of course, I wanted to rebalance myself when I realized something is out of shape. I think one approach is to listen to yourself. Which stories are you telling about yourself? Listen. You are together with friends, and just listen what you are telling about yourself and your situation. And listen whether you are using a victim role.
And that means
the narrative is the one of a victim.
Yeah, because maybe people don't even realize that they are in the victim role. But as soon as you think he has done that to me, or she or whoever, and this is always me, and blah 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 blah, this is the victim role. Because often I see people, then they are so convinced that they are right, and the others should consider them better or do something for them, and they really owe me that. And this is also victim, but it doesn't look like victim in the first, because they are not doing like but they say
and it's not something which we could call empowerment.
Absolutely.
Empowerment is something in between this trap of either overpowering or underpowering.
Exactly.
If you are underpowered, you have given your power to somebody.
Yeah. And we are doing this sometimes also strategically. When I ask you, where do you want to go today? And you say the place X. Then I say, oh no, I wanted to go in the place Epsilon, This is really a bad way
there's
of
all kinds
the power.
Yeah, there are many ways to avoid responsibility.
Yeah, I think a further approach, well, just to finish with this first one, listen to the story you tell.
Yeah.
And then start to tell a different story. Start to tell a different story. A story, for instance, of a learning process, of a change, of a challenge, of a success, of something despite. So as you are nourishing a different wolf, do you know the story of the wolf? It's an old tale.
Okay.
There's
Little Red Riding Hood?
I think so, yeah. Mhm.
There's a small kid asking the grandfather,
Oh, yes. Yes,
what
I
is the
know.
wolf? Is it a dangerous animal, or is it taking care of us? And the grandfather
Oh.
says, well, it depends which one you feed. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the attention we give to the victim role, that if we give attention to the victim role, then we feed the victim in ourselves. If we give attention to the empowerment, then we help ourselves to honor our power.
Mhm.
I think
And
that's very important.
what I find so important is to become able to make the discernment between these things, to really understand what your own victim story is.
Yeah,
Because
well,
I remember that I didn't know for a long time that I was a victim, that I made myself a victim.
Yeah.
Because my mother did, and she was so negatively powerful over the family in this victim role, and that helps to see it. But in yourself, it is very difficult. So I think the good thing would be to connect with a commitment with friends and allow them to tell you what they see. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Heidi, Mark, and Barbara at thewisdomfactory.net. Find more interesting conversations recorded in the archive section and new live events on the events page of thewisdomfactory.net.